Congratulations to anyone who's graduated. Land of hope and glory, mother of the free. Who knew there were lyrics? How shall we extol thee, who are born of thee? Wider still and wider, wider still and wider. It sounds like a dentist talking to his patient. Wider still and wider shall thy bounds be set. God who made thee mighty, make thee mightier yet. I never knew there were lyrics. There are lyrics. The lyrics are by a gentleman named Arthur Benson. Arthur Benson, who lived long ago. Arthur Benson lived from 1862 to 1925. He was an English essayist, poet, and academic, the 28th master of Magdalen College, Cambridge. And he wrote the lyrics to Edward Elgar's Coronation Ode. That's the Coronation Ode. Coronation Ode. Coronation, like putting the crown on someone's head. But you don't really get a crown on your head at a graduation. So now it's become the graduation ode. Excuse me while I attend to something. All right, I attended to that. Elgar, of course, I know Elgar from his cello concerto, his very famous cello concerto. But this is his Coronation Ode. La di da da da. So this has become the graduation tune. Famous from Animal House, the Belushi movie. So here's the lyrics. Land of hope and glory, mother of the free. How shall we extol thee, who are born of thee? Okay, so how do we praise you, our mother? Mother of the free. Oh, it's a patriotic, it's a hymn. It sounds like a hymn. Well, it's more of a her, but because it's to the mom. But we're praising the motherland. So far, it doesn't sound like a graduation. It sounds like a coronation, I could see. Like the queen. Okay, verse 2. Wider still and wider. Open, rinse, spit, open. Wider still and wider. Here I am talking about dentistry again. I know it comes up with some regularity. Movement.vote, the Movement Voter Project. Oh, that was rude. That was a rude awakening. I thought I was taking a sip of seltzer and it's tap water. That's kind of an analogous situation to when you reach for the milk carton and you think it's full, but it's empty. That disconnect between the expectation and the sensation. The Movement Voter Project. Let's keep supporting them. Wider still and wider shall thy bounds be set. Oh, wider shall thy bounds be set. That sounds like your boundaries, your borders. Let's widen our borders. That's not great. It sounds like an expansionist hymn. It's a celebration of expanding the empire, I guess, maybe. I don't know. God who made thee mighty. Okay, here we go. God who made thee mighty, make thee mightier yet. So it is. Yeah, it's a hegemonic power hungry. It's a hegemonic. It's power hungry. It's maybe a little bit imperialist. This tune. Oh well. God who made thee mighty, make thee mightier yet. Still make you still mightier. Richard, hey Richard, always drink tap water. Only drink tap water. That's all you drink. I think that's very healthy if that's all you drink. 2,000 milliliters a day. Interesting. I wonder what that's from. Bonsoir, Leslie. Hello, Mom. Hello, Richard. Hello, Mary in Chicago. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Sarah with an H. How you doing? Hello, everybody. Do I play the horn too? No, that would be good for this. I guess you need a horn for that graduation tune. La di da da di da. La da di da da da. Wait, are these are horizontal stripes supposed to be thinning and slimming, or I don't know. Well, actually, I got this T-shirt at my nephew's graduation a year ago. We were in New Orleans for his graduation from Tulane, and next door to the hotel there was this shop that was selling these fancy T-shirts. It's linen, so I never owned a fancy T-shirt. I don't think so. I'm a fan. I was such a fan of this shirt that I went online and found the company and got some more. Oh, vertical stripes are slimming. Interesting. I guess they make you seem longer and therefore slimmer. How about zigzags? What do zigzags do to your physique? Wah, 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 wah. Hey, Mila, thank you. I should remember the brand and give them a plug. All right, what else can we tell you about the guy who wrote the words to that Elgar hymn? The Coronation Ode. I'm sorry, it's an ode. Oh, he lived a life of tragedy. He lived quite a long life. He lived from 1862 to 1925. He had this long academic career, but this is the guy, the poet, the essayist and poet Arthur Benson, who wrote those beautiful words, those sort of patriotic, a little bit. Maybe they're not jingoistic. They're a little bit chest thumping. Patriotism. I'm not a fan. The problem with patriotism is when you're saying rah rah rah, our country is great. By extension, you're saying boo, your country is not as great as ours, and I think it's just silly. The idea that the idea that one country is better than the other, it's childish, it's silly, and it gets people into trouble and into wars and all kinds of nonsense. It eventually leads to suffering. I think it would be a better attitude just to say our country has some good things, your country has some good things. We can learn from each other. Um, we can we can have an exchange of ideas. We can carry out research together. We can collaborate on things. That's To me, that's way better than patriotism. There's a lyric, I don't know where it comes from originally, but Bob Dylan has that lyric. Patriotism is the last refuge to which a scoundrel clings. Steal a little and they throw you in jail. Steal a lot and they make you king. Um, oh, it's from a song called "What's a Sweetheart Like You Doing in a Dump Like This." It's what a great song from the album Infidels from maybe 1984, 85. Yeah, it's Bob Dylan, and that was the first Bob Dylan CD I ever got. I remember I had a kid. I was a counselor briefly in a summer camp that summer after my end of high school, and there was a kid who was maybe 11 years old in my bunk, and he was singing along with that CD. It was very funny because it's pretty elevated language, and to hear this 11-year-old, and it's also very political. This 11-year-old kid at summer camp from Long Island, I think. It's kind of funny. All right, so Benson, who wrote those lyrics, exceptionally accomplished, but he also wrote a bunch of ghost novels. He wrote ghost novels, um, but he had a tragic life. He had a son and a daughter who died young, and then another daughter, and Arthur himself. So the guy who wrote those lyrics suffered from a mental condition that may have been bipolar disorder or manic depressive psychosis, seemingly inherited from their father. So there was a mean gene in the family tree that caused a lot of suffering. Prolific author. Oh, this is interesting also. Um, he lived in cathedral closes. I guess that's like living in the rectory. It's like being part of the church. His father was the chancellor of Lincoln Cathedral and then at Truro. So Truro, which is in the southwest of England, I think Cornwall in that direction, or Penzance, it's in that direction, all the way down southwest. So he was in Truro. That's where I am right now, in Truro, Massachusetts. So that's kind of cute. I don't know if cute's the wrong word, but anyhow, that's Benson. All right, last night we sang a bunch of we sang, oh, Mary, yeah, Hello Mutta, Hello Fada. That was a good one. Someone else mentioned that also, because I sometimes say hello, mother, and hello, father on the show. Camp Granada. I should do that song this summer. I'm going to write that down. That's a good one. It's a good summer song. Hello, Mutta. Hello, Fada. Here I am in Camp Granada. Wah, 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 wah. Someone asked earlier, was I fishing for a compliment? I don't fish. I don't like fishing. I don't eat fish. I'm a vegan. I root for the fish. When we used to go fishing when I was a kid, even this was many years before I was a vegan, we would go fishing, but I was really rooting for the fish. I always root for the fish. The fish need a little, they need some encouragement. It's not a great life. We don't have to stick hooks in their mouths. Even if you throw them back, it's an assault. It's assault and battery. It's also abduction. It's like a kidnapping charge. I think if you were to charge a fisherman in a fish court, there would be a few things. There would be the physical assault, which would be probably, I'd say that would be a felony, probably. And then the abduction, because against their will, you're taking them out of their environment, out of their home. So that's like a kidnapping charge. That's another felony. Um, And maybe it's federal because you're taking them out of waters, which, maybe the waters could be considered a different state. So yeah, fishing, not nice. All right. Okay, here's another song of celebration. Oh, attempted murder. Good point, Z. Yeah, there's also attempted murder. Well, then you have to get into the state of mind of the fisherman or fisherwoman, because maybe they were intending to throw it back, in which case that's not attempted murder. A friend of mine, his daughter has a bat mitzvah coming up. That's like the coming of age ceremony this weekend, and he has asked me to sing the famous Jewish party tune, which is Hava Nagila. Ba-da-da-dee. Ba-da-da-dee. Uruachim. Uruachim. Eleb sameach. So the funny thing is, I have heard that song a million times. I've sung along with that song a million times, but until I looked at the tune, and it happens to be in this book, I didn't actually know the lyrics. And then I've asked people who have been singing this song for twice as long as I have, and they don't know the words either. So we know the words are Hava Nagila, which is come, let us rejoice. Hava, it's like poetic old school Hebrew. Hava Nagila, let us rejoice. Yeah, yeah, na, 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 na. Let us rejoice. Yeah, so Mary, there it is. Thank you for asking. That's exactly what I'm getting into here. So I knew, most people know, if you've been around it, it's just Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila Venismecha. Hava Nagila, let us rejoice. Venismecha, let's be happy. That's all it means. Let's rejoice and be happy, which is kind of redundant. Let's rejoice and rejoice. But then that second part, I had no idea what the words were. Ooh, it's Uru Achim, wake up, brothers. Wake up, brothers. Uru Achim. And then it says Uru Achim Beleb Sameach. Wake up with a joyful heart. Wake up in a joyful heart, or wake up in a good mood. Wake up happy. Uru Achim. Be fruitful and multiply. Yes, by extension. Once you've woken up with a happy heart, be fruitful and multiply. Absolutely. So that's the song. So I've been deputized to sing that. Richard, will I be dancing? Probably. I guess I might join the circle of joy. Oh, Jill, you say I saw a study that said catch and release shortens the fish's life. I've thought the same thing. I'm glad you bring that up, because how could it not? It's got to be traumatizing to their system. I know some people might say, oh, they don't have a consciousness, which is ridiculous, or they don't have a memory, which is also ridiculous. But it's got to be physically traumatizing, but also probably to their nervous system, and let's say by extension, I don't know if you want to talk about their emotions. I'm happy to, but yeah, it's got to be terrible for the fish. You know what? Don't go fishing. Just go stand there and look at the water. Look at the water. It's very nice. Look at the water. Look at just this evening. I was down at the bay. I was looking at the crabs. They were walking around, lots of crabs. I don't know what this compulsion is to kill these things. La 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 da. That's funny, Richard. Instead of the lyrics, which are "Wake up to a happy heart," Richard says, "I'm just happy to wake up." Okay. Well, that's good. That's cause enough for happiness. Z, thank you for asking. What are the latest on my auditions? Today, I had a very fun audition because, again, I think I've mentioned this since the actors' strike a year ago, there's a new element in the contract between the actors and the producers, which is that the casting directors have to offer and be available for some one on one Zoom sessions instead of just having the actors self tape. So when you self tape, you get a friend to read with you or someone, and then you submit the takes. But they also have to offer these what they call live Zoom sessions, where it's sort of replicates going into a room with the casting director, where you just do your job and then you leave, and they select the takes and they submit them. So I had one of those today with a casting director for a thriller. It's a thriller TV series. Um, it involves moida and mayhem and siblings and lawyers and intrigue and subterfuge. It's got a lot in it. It looks fun, and it's got some big superstars who are the stars and producers, um, who play sisters, I believe. Oh, the thing I shot 2 months ago was the superstars play brothers, so this could pair well with that. That one's called Black Rabbit. Black Rabbit on Netflix, I believe. This one I think is also Netflix. Anyway, so that was today, and that audition was for the role of Lawyer One and Lawyer Two. So it was a couple of lawyers in the scene. That was fun. Yeah, that was fun. But here's what happened. This was crazy. I woke up and I had such an attack of what they call over in Bavaria, they call it Heuschnupfen. I had a wicked case of Heuschnupfen this morning. Heuschnupfen, which is like hay sneeze, hay fever. But I had it the way I had it once, around 20 years ago. I was at a festival in Austria, and I got hit with the hay fever so hard, and it was the first time I understood why it's called hay fever. Because you think like a little bit of itchy eyes and some sneezing. Why is that called a fever? But if you get hit with it really bad, and you're just sneezing and then getting overheated, and you're sneezing and you're schwitzing and your nose is running and your eyes are running, and you feel like, I wouldn't say you feel like you're going to die, but it can be pretty intense. So this morning I had a pretty intense Heuschnupfen, and I took one thing and it didn't work completely. So then I took another thing and that knocked me the hell out. So then I had like a good hour or 90 minutes unconscious. Then I went for a swim, woke me up, had some coffee. Anyway, that's what's happening. That's what's happening that's the pollen count update. Habba Nagila Habba. Well, that reminds me, Jennifer Jason Leigh. She played a singer with some substance abuse problems in a movie about 25 years ago. And there's one scene where she and her sort of it's like a punk rock band. She's at a bar mitzvah or a wedding. She's the band, she's the entertainment, and she's singing that. And um, I think she's totally high. It's really great. Jennifer Jason Leigh, bar mitzvah singing scene. What was that song? Georgia? Yeah, there it is. It's 30 years old. The movie was called Georgia from 1995. She plays a singer. Oh, interesting. She's singing Almost Blue, the Elvis Costello song. Oh my God, that's a beautiful song. Anyway, I recommend, I think that's the movie. Yeah. She's a punk singer. She plays a ballroom punk singer. Man, so good. Mila says, I've had a busy day, only managed to watch about a third of David's newest show. Yes, I saw David's show. It was really terrific. That's David Feldman, the David Feldman Show. I recommend it. Richard says, I don't care for lawyers. I know what you mean. They get a, look, that's casting. Let's say that's casting. That's just painting with a very broad brush because we have so many millions of lawyers in this country. So it's a little hard to generalize. I know what you mean. It can be an unsavory job. On the other hand, it can be very savory. There's all sorts of people doing good work with their law degrees. Again, I'm abjuring the generalization, trying to go for just the fair assessment. Different people do their jobs in different ways. I don't want to sound too preachy, but yes, Kathy, the fish, of course, they get an injury to their mouth when they get a hook in their mouth. Okay, there's one more celebratory song. I think what happened was last night I sang these songs that were sort of lullabies and sleepy songs. So then I had the idea of doing some celebratory song. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hill. Old long since. This is a really old one. And of course, this is a celebratory song that usually goes with the new year, but should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind, should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne. Old long since. That's the literal translation of old lang syne. The olden days. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. It's like good old friends reminiscing about the good old days long ago, long ago, long ago and far away. Oh, long, long ago. That was that other oldie I sang the other night. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Oh, it's a question. It's a rhetorical question. I always thought it was a hypothetical. Like, should this happen? Like, should I call you? You'll come to the phone. That was an antiquated reference because you don't have to come to a phone anymore. Should I send you a letter? You'll receive it. That's what I thought this was, but it's not. Should old acquaintance be forgot? It's a question. It's a rhetorical question. Should old acquaintances be forgot and never brought to mind? No, they shouldn't. Look at that. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? So that second line is also a question, a rhetorical question. Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old long since? No, you shouldn't forget the old stuff. That's what the song is advocating. for a healthy and hearty memory bank. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup o' kindness yet. For old lang syne. So we'll have a drink. We'll drink to the old times, a drink to the memories. It's a nice, simple tune. It's Robert Burns, the great Scottish poet, and it's from. Oh, this is another little interesting fact I got tonight. Um, I think the original writer of those words is my namesake, because I think his name was Ayton. Old Lang Syne lyrics. Wah, wah, ma, na, na, na. Yeah, another poem written around the 1600s by Sir Robert Ayton, Ayton. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought upon the flames of love? So Burns was basing it on a poem by another Robert. Robert Burns based it on Robert Ayton, which was a sort of bizarre transliteration of my name that was around in my childhood. Anyhow, that's Old Lang Syne. Oh, what did I want? I had other stuff I wanted to talk about tonight. It was all music. So I think I'll save that for tomorrow night. Wah 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 wah. Oh, it's the ending of A Wonderful Life. Oh, that's cool. Oh, Dan Fogelberg has a version. Old Lang Syne used to make me cry as a kid. I totally agree, Mary. It's a tearjerker. See that my grave is kept clean. That's a good sentiment. My lawyer charges over $6.50 an hour. Jesus, that's a big. That's $6.50 an hour. Madame, that's a lot of. That's a lot of pizza. That's a lot of pizza. That's what we used to say in college. Any sum of money, we would calculate how many pizzas is that? Because a big pizza from Pinocchio's Pizza was about $10. So that was the currency. That's a lot of pizzas. That's 65 pizzas. La dee da 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 da. Someone is saying that someone has a good moral compass. Whoever is saying that, that's a nice sentiment, and whoever's receiving that, I think, appreciates it. Ethan. Oh, Leslie says, I noticed you sing with an accent. Is that from years of opera? No, it's like Madonna. I spent six weeks in England, and then I came back singing like that. No, I think certain songs just make me want to sing like that. And certain songs make me want to sing like this. Should old acquaintance be forgot? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I guess there is a sort of standard pronunciation of English in classical singing. So yeah, that could have there could be some muscle memory there also. Go tell it on the mountain, because I don't want to hear it. Go tell it. Stop bending my ear about it. You're giving me a headache. Go tell it on the mountain. Go tell it in the woods. Just go tell it somewhere else. Or don't tell it at all. Just think about it. Go tell it on the mountain. No, a little further than the next mountain. I can still hear you. Go. Go tell it on the mountain. Movement.vote, the Movement Voter Project. it becomes more important by the minute that you visit them. The Movement Voter Project. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Movement Voter Project. The Movement Voter Project. Look into my eyes, look into my mug. Get sleepy. Go, give them $1, please. Save our democracy. What's left of it with this corrupt Supreme Court. We need to win the White House again and win Congress. Movement Voter Project. All right, here we go. Here's the outro. Come on, everybody. I'll be loving you always, with a love that's true always. When the things you've planned need a helping hand, I will understand always, always. Days may not be fair always. That's when I'll be there always. Not just for an hour, not just for a day, not just for a year, but always, always, always. All right, so I'm here every night, always, every night at 9. 9 on the East Coast, 8 in Chicago, 6 in LA, 3 a.m. in Europe. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody. I look forward to doing this again for you tomorrow evening. See you then. Sweet dreams.